And sweltering under extremely high temperatures this week. There have been warnings all week about the risk of burning, sunstroke and the need for hydration. And let's not forget the deadly role of the sun in causing cancer. To discuss, we're joined by health specialist from the Cancer Association of South Africa, Professor Michael Herbst. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
When you hear heat wave, does it make you think of all those risks?
Well, I'll tell you, we've had so many heat waves now already. And it all goes together with climate change, heat waves, and it just seems to make a small break in between, and then we have another heat wave coming again. And I'll tell you, this is the most dangerous time for South Africans, and it's now the time to really invest in a good sunscreen and to protect yourself against the sun.
In terms of contributing factors to cancer, where would you rate the sun or sun damage?
Well, we know that the ultraviolet rays of the sun, the UVA and the UVB rays, are the cause of most skin cancers, really. And so that is very important. And we know with climate change, we know the ozone layer that's being depleted. And we see now some of the results in climate change. We know that the polar areas are melting down, and we just see every now and then that we're getting higher temperatures than we've ever had, and for longer spells of time.
Are we seeing skin cancer becoming more prevalent at all?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, South Africa has an unacceptably high incidence of skin cancer. We don't
Can you explain that? Can you quantify it at all?
Yes, let me tell you what's happening. With climate change and the heat waves that you are expecting and experiencing at the moment, people want to cool down. So what do? They don't cover up because they are so hot with the increase in temperature. So they don't wear long sleeves. They prefer to wear shorts and things like that, exposing more of their body area to the sun when they go into the sun. And this is where the breaking news comes in. During the past few days, I've been looking at heat waves and the incidence of skin cancer. And there's very interesting research coming through from the Netherlands. And it indicates for us that there is a direct link between environmental temperature and the risk of skin cancer.
Sure.
For every degree centigrade increase in temperature, there is the following increase in the risk of developing skin cancer. For melanoma, each degree centigrade increase, about 2% increase in the risk. When we get to basal cell carcinoma, the increase is about 3% for every 1 degree centigrade increase in temperature. And for squamous cell carcinoma, it's 6%.
Sure.
And research has shown that when we get to about 37 degrees, that is about the maximum that the skin can handle. And when the skin is at that temperature as well, with environmental heat, and you then expose yourself to the sun, your chances of getting DNA damage in the cells of the skin is 90% plus. So that increases the risk for skin cancer.
And it's so important for children. So I remember the stats, you can double the chance of cancer later on by
Absolutely.
With one sunburn.
2 severe sunburns before the age of 18 is a policy to have skin cancer when you get older.
Sure. Do you think we understand the risks as South Africans?
We don't, and it seems like worldwide people don't appreciate the risk that we are all running. And the thing is, when there's a little bit of sunshine, even in the northern hemisphere, when they get a little bit of sunshine, I can think of the UK as a good example. If you go to Hyde Park, I mean, you can't find a place on the lawn to sit. Everybody's there and they've got their shirts off. And that absolutely just increases one's risk because people don't appreciate the danger of ozone depletion, climate change, and the increased risk of skin cancer.
But you said you can wear sunscreen, so this is absolutely preventable just with sunscreen.
Absolutely. But then, you know, I cannot just leave sunscreen there and not say we've had during the past few months and weeks we've had a bit of a thing about oxybenzone as one of the harmful substances in sunscreens. And I had an interview here with the SABC about the oxybenzone in sunscreens. And people should try and find a sunscreen that doesn't contain oxybenzone. And if it does, it should contain maximum of 6% at the moment.
Well, what does that do? Remind us what the problem is with that, and how prevalent is it in your very affordable sunscreens?
With oxybenzone, and I must tell you, it doesn't only appear in sunscreens, it also comes in a multitude of personal care products, including hairspray, because it protects the hair against the rays of the sun as well. But oxybenzone has been proven to be a hormone disruptor. It mimics estrogen, and it's absorbed through the skin, it's absorbed through the scalp if you spray it on your hair, and it mimics estrogen, and it upsets the whole estrogen balance within the body. It causes problems in boys. We know, especially if mothers are exposed to too much oxybenzone while they're pregnant, the oxybenzone mimicking estrogen could affect the unborn male fetus.
But let's figure this out. How serious would it be, say, a pregnant woman putting on a lot of sunscreen on a holiday?
No, as long as she uses a
exposure?
sunscreen that is oxybenzone free.
But I'm saying if she's using one with full of oxybenzone, how long will it take for these serious effects to kick in?
Again, you know, each individual is unique. So you cannot put a definite figure to it and say that for her a maximum of 2 or 3 days of really putting on a lot of sunscreen will cause harm. It may, but for somebody else it might take a few weeks.
Why isn't the health department outlawing this?
Well, internationally, there is a cry against oxybenzone, and the Cancer Association, you know, we've got our seal of recognition on sunscreens, and we've said to people, manufacturers who manufacture sunscreen bearing our seal, that this summer, it's the 2018-19 summer, it's the last summer, then all oxybenzone must be removed from sunscreens to be able to bear the cancer seal of recognition.
Okay, so people who are worried can look out for sunscreen right now with the cancer seal and know that they are safer than normal.
But then I must say to you, there could be old stock on the shelves still. So people should still check the label. It's so important to just check the label, talk to the pharmacist or to the person behind the counter and say, look, I'm looking for a good sunscreen, preferably one bearing the cancer seal of recognition, advertising my organization, because we do a lot of research into sunscreens. We're leading the field in South Africa as far as sunscreens is concerned.
Final question, we're running out of time, but there's been this myth, you know, that if you've got a very dark skin, you can't get severely sun damage. What would your message be to black South Africans who aren't afraid?
Thank you for asking that question. Individuals with darker skin tone are not free from getting skin cancer. If you check the cancer registry, you'll be amazed to see the number of people with darker skin tones getting skin cancer. And with them, the fascinating thing that happens is, with melanoma, they develop melanoma in parts of their body that is not exposed to the sun. So they do get maybe on the hand DNA damage that causes eventually a melanoma, but it lands in the bloodstream or in the lymphatic system and it goes to another part of the body and it develops melanoma there. The best example, Bob Marley. Do you know that Bob Marley died of melanoma?
Sure.
He thought he injured his toe by playing soccer with his friends, and he neglected the hurt under his toenail, and he had a melanoma there, and it killed him. What a loss to the world.
Yeah. Sure, what a wake-up call. So think of Bob Marley, wear your sunscreen. Thank you very much. That was Professor Michael Herbst, who is with the Cancer Association of South Africa, Cancer.